welcome back, everyone. Yeah, so I'm gonna try my best to finish up this item sorter. It's a lot bigger and bulkier than I thought it would be. Uh, I was really hoping to get more items out of this, but to fit it all in one chunk, it doesn't look like I've got more than 20 items available. So, anyways, yeah. So today's video, real quick. Uh, I'm actually going to discuss two things. I had an epiphany considering one of my favorite comedians, Bill Burr. Uh, he's kind of going through I don't know if you could call it a sociological crisis. He's always struck me as someone who's been a little bit right of center, which is coincidentally where I find myself. I'm actually very liberal in a lot of ways. Or I guess you could say libertarian in some ways, but I I don't want to be pigeonholed into liberal, conservative, Democrat, or Republican. I really try to objectively listen to all arguments and make the best decision I can from that. Um, but like I was saying, Bill Burr has always struck me as someone who's been rather conservative. He's always praised strong fathers, even though his father seems to have gone a little too far in his childhood, veering into um, abusiveness a little bit. But yeah, so the reason why I'm bringing this up real quick is because, and I'll get to the other thing. The other topic I want to discuss is the reaction to HBO's The Last of Us. But let me stay on topic real quick. Got to focus on Bill Burr because I've loved this guy. I've followed him ever since the Chappelle show, which is where I first became aware of him. And then he started doing his own stand up, and of course he had that small part in Breaking Bad. I love the guy, so and I still love the guy. But I'm noticing in a lot of his videos or videos that are about him, there's a lot of hate towards him. I think people on the right feel um, I don't want to use the term butthurt, but they're salty. They're bitter. They feel betrayed. Um, I think that's a little. That's just my opinion. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but I think that's a little overreactive. Um, sorry, I'm trying to think and do this at the same time. It's it's not easy for somebody like me. I'm not a person who can walk and chew gum at the same time, apparently. So, um, but anyways, I love some of Bill Burr's older skits, and here lately he's veered more into political discussion, and and there's a lot of comments. I mean, a lot of comments in his videos or videos about him that are rather negative, calling him a sellout, saying that his wife basically has his testicles in her purse. His wife, by the way, is very liberal, so um, they're kind of an odd couple. She's black, he's very white. Um, they have I want to say two children together, a son and a daughter, both very young. I think they've been together as a couple for about 10 years, I want to say. And I'm not a professional when it comes to this, so I'm trying to take a mental snapshot of what this side looks like, because that side I got working. I finally, after a lot of tinkering, I finally got that side working. So I'm trying to copy that in my brain and then rebuild it over here. So we're going to come out 3 blocks for the comparator and the redstone dust. Um, but anyways, so here's the thing. My epiphany about Bill Burr is I don't think it's accurate to say that his wife is controlling his thoughts and he's lost his independence. I could totally see why people would think that because, like I said, he's gone from a individual that's kind of like me, very much like me actually in some ways, where he's been very liberal in some ways, but then also very right of center. Which is where I find myself on many topics. Um, but yeah, I honestly, my epiphany is this. I'm kind of rambling a little bit, and I apologize. My epiphany is this. I don't think it has anything really to do with his wife. Maybe it could, but they've been together for 10 years, and this shift to the left for him seems very, really all of a sudden, really, in the past 2 years. Some people say it's been, 10 years in the making. I don't really see it. He was, highly critical of women in his Saturday Night Live appearance, and I feel rightfully so. Um, I was that 2 years ago, tops, right? But here, yeah. So basically, really, in the past year, 2 years, if you want to really push it, he's really had this hard leftward turn, and I don't think it's I don't think it's really has anything to do with his wife. I feel this is my epiphany. I believe it has a lot more to do with his kids, specifically his daughter, but his kids. Uh, People don't understand when you have children, it changes you. And I don't mean just physically, it changes you mentally. I was always somebody who couldn't stand, I think I'm gonna have to start this over. Oh, excuse me, I got hiccups. Because I gotta put repeaters on the back of those blocks, and I can't do that if this is here, so let me tear this up. Anyways, yeah, so he's got kids now. He's a father, right? He's a father. So my epiphany was this: as a parent, you really have two choices. Okay, you can take the liberal approach, the more leftward approach, right? And you can try to make the world safer. All right, a lot of liberals, that's the essence of their core. They want to make the world safer. I always say that conservatives are thinkers and liberals, tend to be more emotional. And I'm not being critical of either side. You honestly, a well balanced human being is a little bit of both. You can embrace change where change is needed, but human society, civilization's been around for more than 10,000 years. So we've picked up some good habits in that time period. The whole family unit has been very successful at providing relatively safe, living conditions for children, because men and women naturally want to kill each other. So the family has, like I said, we exist today because uh, of the family unit. Anyways, I'm veering off course again. I apologize. My thought was this: as a parent, when you have kids, you can either try to make the world safer, which I feel is a more liberal mindset. Nothing wrong with that. I just think it's rather impossible. You can make small changes here and there. It's certainly worth trying to make the world a better place. I believe in making the world a better place, but let's be honest, we're not going to make the world a better place overnight. It's typically generational. Real change in the world is very slow. And our children are only children for, 10 years or so. So the other alternative, the more conservative alternative, is you can't really make the world a better place overnight. So the best thing you can do is make your children tougher. And that's what the more conservative approach is. I think you need both. I've certainly tried. I've only got one daughter. I've certainly tried to raise her to be tough. Um, I've 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 really, what's the word I'm looking for? I've really I think this needs to go here. This probably isn't going to work. I'm probably going to have to tear this down and redo it, but because yeah, I'm just kind of winging it, to be honest. But I've tried to make sure she's got thick skin, that she is capable of facing the world and not backing down. I've tried to make sure that she's got thick skin. And a lot of people have been highly critical of that. They're like, oh, she's a girl, let her win, let her win. And I don't let her win because she is going to be, and she already has beat me in several areas. And, she's earned that because I don't give her anything. She has to earn it. If she wants to beat her old man, she's got to give it her all, and she has. So when she accomplishes something, it's earned, it's not fake. Yeah, I really feel like, letting your kids win, so to speak, is kind of detrimental to them because the world's not going to do that. The world is not going to let your kids win. It's a mean, nasty place and it'll beat you down if you let it. Um, but anyway, so that's my epiphany. I don't think Bill Burr is doing anything based on what his. I mean, I'm sure his wife is having some influence on him. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure she's showing him things in a different light, which is what couples should do. Hopefully he's rubbing off on her a little bit as well. But yeah, I think it's more his kids. I think he has the sudden urge to make the world a safer place. And like I said, you can't really do that in a short period of time. You've got to um, toughen them up while you do that because you're never going to be able to make the world entirely safe for them. So, but yeah, that was my big epiphany. I still think Bill Burr's funny. I really wish he would kind of like stay out of politics because that's very divisive once you start calling one side or the other idiots. Uh, I try to never do that. I may see things in a more liberal or a more conservative sense, but I never call my friends and neighbors, my coworkers, idiots, just because they may lean a little more to the left or a little more to the right. So I think we need to really stop doing that to each other. But so my other thought was, hopefully this is all going to work now. My other thought was, about The Last of Us, and it's getting a lot of heat right now. They spoiler alert, if you if you haven't, if you're weeks behind on The Last of Us season two, they killed off Joel, just like they did in the video game. I really thought, they were going to course correct and save the franchise. Yes, The Last of Us 2 was critically praised. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people love it. Okay, and their opinions are valid. All right, but obviously, I'm just being factual here. I'm not trying to, hurt anyone's feelings, but obviously they're a small minority. The first game, and I know there's been a couple re-releases and it's on more platforms, but the first game has sold about 40 million copies, or maybe it's 30 million. All I know is like the second one has sold 10 million, and I think it just recently went on Steam. It's not doing so good. People are not overall people are not happy. Okay, some people are happy. The majority of people that like the first game did not like the way that Joel's death was handled. Um, and that's understandable. So I really thought the show was going to like course correct and change that because that's been a very, very unpopular opinion. Or if you have to kill off Joel for the story, at least make it more palatable somehow. Give him more of a heroic end. You know what I'm saying? Like people are suckers. I know I am. I'm a sucker for a heroic finale. Seeing the hero go down in flames, but sacrificing themselves to for the greater good. That's acceptable. That's the way a hero should go out. But instead, it seems like they've tried to vilify him even more than in the game, and it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. You can't make your fan base, you know, love Joel as much as we did in the first game. Uh, you know, see a bit of ourselves in him. His need to protect Ellie. You know, you can't make us love this man for who he is, and then just do an about face and say, oh well, now because we need to kill him off for the story's sake, we're going to do our best to make you hate him. That's just not going to work. Not when you've got dynamic, complex characters like that. Because to be frank, um, we're all suckers for, you know, a redemption arc. So there's a lot of characters that I have, you know, come across. Omni Man being one of the biggest. I mean, the way he treated his son in that first season. Oh my God, that's, yeah, it's not redeemable. But yet, part of me wants to see him wake the fuck up and realize, you know, that he loves his son, even after doing those horrible, horrible things to him. So, but yeah, there's, I'm so tired. I'm so sick of people assuming that that we don't like the way Joel's death is handled, because we're all racist, bigot, misogynist. You know what I'm saying? It's like we all loved Ellie in the first game, and I don't think anybody has a problem with her being gay or bisexual. I'm not sure if she's lesbian or bisexual. It doesn't, to be honest, it doesn't even freaking matter to me. I don't care. I'm gonna say something, and it's probably gonna sound a little controversial. I'm probably gonna offend some people, and if I do, I apologize. It's just, I'm being honest. This is from the heart. Your gender, what you have between your legs, or the color of your skin, is the least interesting thing about you. I don't care who you're sleeping with. I don't, as long as it's not an animal, then it's not a child. If it's a consenting adult, by all means, enjoy yourself. Okay? I don't care about your skin color. I don't care about your gender. At the end of the day, we all want the same things. We all want to be loved. We all want to have something that carries on after we're gone. For some people, that's children. For some people, that's faith. For some people, that's, you know, paintings, a park, um, you know, community service. So, you know, whatever gets you through your day, it's your life. Live it the way you want to. And, you know, I'm so tired of people insisting that we all have the same opinions, okay? I personally love the fact that people feel differently. I love listening to little old ladies, you know, that are conservative and learning something. I love listening to a young black man who's more liberal and learning something. I love the fact that we're different and we have different strengths and different weaknesses. So I'm serious, man. I'm so tired of people insisting that we all think the same, and both sides do it. I'm not giving a pass to either side. Both extremes do it. I'm tired of it. So, you know, like what you like, love who you love, and, you know, God bless you. You know, I don't mean that in a religious way. I'm just saying, you know, I hope you find everything you're looking for in life. So, um, anyways, thanks for watching. Probably gonna be my last Minecraft video for a little while. So, I'm gonna get more into the horror games. I'm really enjoying those. But finally, I'm just so happy I finally got. I don't know. You know, I take that back. I might be doing a lot more Minecraft. I don't know. But I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for watching, and take care. Enjoy what you want to enjoy, and don't let anybody try to change you. Okay?